What's going on, guys? Caleb here, and in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the best way to get appointments for your agency in 2023. Now, this is not going to be for you if you're a beginner, but if you're at 10K a month, 15K a month, even 25, 30K a month, and you're stuck at level and you want to break past the 50K a month mark or even the 100K a month mark, I'm going to show you guys what we do for all of our multi-seven-figure clients as well as multi-six-figure clients, the best way that I've found to be able to get appointments right now for your agency. And so if you're lacking appointments, if you're just looking for a predictable way where you see everyone else being able to land appointments on their calendar, be able to cross 50K a month, 100K a month mark, you know you can do it. You have good operations, good case studies. You just don't have a predictable way to get appointments. I'm going to show you the value-based funnel and what we do with appointment setters to be able to just have a consistency and a predictability in your appointments. And it's absolutely crucial that you crack this. This is the only way that you're going to grow your agency is if you crack this. And so I'm going to show you guys for free the entire funnel step by step, and so that you guys can watch this entire video. At the end of it, be able to implement this and be able to see a lower cost per call, be able to get way more quality clients on your calendar, and be able to close some high ticket deals. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. All right, so I call this the agency acquisition war map because it really is a war map. There's a lot of different pieces that are involved, and you need to make sure that you have every piece into play. All right, and so this is how to crack 50K months pancakes. All right, the very first thing is the top of funnel. And I want you guys to see is top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, and then tracking and conversions. Those are 4-step process into all this. The very first step, though, in the top of funnel is going to be cracking 100 leads plus per month. If you're not cracking 100 leads plus per month, then we need to start there. Okay. The biggest thing is that, and if you guys have read $100 Million Leads by Alex Hormozi, he mentions that a business needs as many leads as possible. The more leads it has, the more it can maneuver, the more it can scale, and the more bandwidth they have to be able to do that. So one of the things is that you want to make it as easy as possible to get leads in your business. You don't want it to be a struggle. You don't want to have to send out outreach and be able to send out only 100 messages and get one lead every 2 days. That's not going to produce anything in your company, in your agency. And so if you're serious about building a real business here and you're willing to do whatever it takes, then you might as well do it the right way. Okay. And in this book, in $100 Million Leads, as well as just what we see with our clients, the best way is obviously the goal first. So the goal is to get as many hands raised and interest. The best way to do that, from what we found, just working with a lot of clients, booking over 1,000+ appointments for our agency owners, is going to be low barrier paid ads. Now, what do I mean by that? Low barrier paid ads could be a lead form. Right? It could be a lead form, which is whatever is going to produce the lowest cost per lead for you to be able to get a name, a phone number, and an email. And the reason why we want those 3 things is that if you look at what the market's doing, the current state of the market right now is that everyone is pitching their services. If you go to the ad library right now, I will show you guys, I can show you guys later, or just DM me and I'll show you how you could see everyone's ads. Literally everyone. I've only seen a few people. Nearly everyone is pitching their services. Guarantee, bigger, bolder promises, and everyone's just making a bigger claim. And what that's doing is producing a lot of noise. It's producing a lot of noise. And so when the market zigs, you want to zag. You want to go the other direction. And so if you can become the company, instead of trying to pitch services and only talking to 3% of people, because that's what you're doing, is 3% of people are actively buying. And when you're putting out direct to offer, you're only talking to those 3%. Whereas there's 97% of people that would still be interested in buying in the future, except that their messaging, the way that agencies are messaging them right now, does not resonate with them because they're not in the 3% to buy right now. But if you could talk to 97% of your market, because they're still your market, and provide them value and have this mindset shift, then instead of me trying to sell everyone, I'm going to try to provide as much value and the most value for everyone in my market. If you could change that mindset and be able to see paid ads as a vehicle for you to be able to give value and as much value as possible, as quick as possible to your market, and you use paid ads as the mechanism to be able to do that, I promise you, not only have so many leads to deal with, but you'll also have so many of the right customers coming to you because the relationship changes. You're not just an agency that's making a big, bold promise, giving off a bigger offer, and that's why they're buying, but you're instead giving so much value, they feel like they owe you something, and that's why they sign on to your company. And these clients are the type of clients that won't ask for a refund. They won't ask for a guarantee. They won't blame everything on you. They are bought into your process, and that makes for a better client and better client result. And so this is the approach, and this is a mindset shift I've had, right? Now, you can use outbound. You can use cold emails. You can use a VA outreach team. If you have cash, and one of the best ways to scale profitably with this type of funnel is to use the low barrier paid ads. So it's doing value first, giving the market what it wants, which is lead value. It can be a lead magnet, right? So for example, this one could be, see how this painting contractor is adding over 100K a month in painting jobs every month. And so if you have a case study, just take your best case study and just write down the process, right? This is good for you to even do. Just write down the entire process. So some of the best case studies or some of the best marketing materials have been case studies that were broken down so in depth that shows a prospect how to actually get the result that they're looking for. This should be marketing. Instead, everyone has this other notion that marketing is just selling as many things and making a crazy offer, when it's just being able to portray to your prospect how you can get them to XYZ outcome. Specific person getting a specific outcome. Painting contractors, here's how he's adding over 100K a month with our system. And then opt-in. And this could be a lead opt-in, right? And the main thing that we're looking for is an email and a phone number. I'm going to explain why we want those two things. All right. And so this is the very first step. You want to have top of funnel, lead magnet, think of value, just as much value as possible. The more value that you're able to provide at the very top, the more quality of clients that you're going to bring in, the better client results you're going to get in the output. And the more nurtured, the more warm these leads are going to be, so that when your appointment setters call, which I'm going to break down here, they're going to be open-minded and actually book an appointment. Okay. So once you have the top of funnel going down, again, we're just acquiring the data, which is going to be put into our CRM. Every lead, this is important. Every lead goes through our follow process, which is we build out their profile, we scrape all the ways that we can contact them, and we just have proper tagging so that the appointment setters can easily book the appointment when the lead comes in. So we're optimizing for as many leads coming in, right? A lot of people are doing direct to call, all this stuff, selling their things. That's why they have a high cost per call, right? And that's also why you don't have a predictable way to get appointments, because paid ads should be that way for you to be able to scale, but you're not scaling because you don't have enough money to be able to cover the high cost per acquisition. And so that's why you're not dumping $10,000, $20,000 in paid ads, which could be your way to scale immediately. You're not doing that because the numbers don't make sense. The numbers don't make sense because you're not providing value to the market. And so if you use this approach, this will change the game, even cut your cost per call and cost per acquisition in half. All right, moving on to the middle of the funnel. So once you give top of funnel, you market out to your audience what it wants, right? Which could be a case study, a how-to. How-tos work very well. You then want to give them what they opted in for. So you want to reward them for what they got or what they signed up for. And this can be the actual VSL. So this is really where the VSL kicks in. But it's not VSL where you're trying to sell things. Actually make the VSL really, really good, where they watch the entire VSL. And at the end, they're not like, hey, I feel like I was just being sold the entire time. At the end, they're like, wow, this is so good. Where can I learn more? Where can I watch more videos or hop on a call to be able to book a call with them and buy their services? And you can see right here, like this will get way more traffic, way more leads, but also at the end of it, if you make your VSL actually good and providing value, which is business should be about, then you're going to have prospects coming on the call and wanting to buy and just hand over fist, they're ready to give you money. And so you want to nurture them. So once they opt into your world, once they're in your world, you want to actually give them what they want, reward them. And what I say right here is create 10 bangers a month. Because if you guys aren't creating content for your business, then there's no way that you're going to be able to nurture people at scale. And this is the problem with most agencies. We're just, I don't know where this came from, but we're just taking a shotgun approach and just very short-sighted. It's like, hey, shoot this offer, do this offer, offer. I'm not thinking about the long-term play where we can provide value, nurture people, educate people, get people to believe in us as a company. And then, when you ask, you can get calls coming in. All right, so VSL comes here, which is you're going to be nurturing. Also creating a group, whether you want to do this in school, Facebook group, but a free community where people can come in and continue to get value. If they're not ready right now, totally fine. But you want to have a way for you to be able to provide value at scale and continue to nurture your own audience, your own community. And this is where your appointment centers can really thrive. If you have if you have an agency owner that has no group versus an agency owner that has 1,000 people in their audience and they're providing value, when an appointment center comes into the business to change and dramatically change the revenue, this is going to be an asset. He's not going to have much to work with here, right? And so you want to build assets like this that you can constantly educate and nurture your audience. And this is what we call an info pack. We created this back in our agency, which is basically just take all of your free resources and make sure that you put it into one master doc. And this can just be like the master doc that you send to all of your prospects. Again, the one belief that changes everything is that how can I change my marketing into being a value-based approach instead of trying to sell everyone and their moms? Okay, I just came up with that tagline. Not sure if that made sense. That's the approach that you guys want to take. All right. So phase one, top of funnel, be able to get as many leads as possible for a low cost per lead by giving the market what it wants. Step two is educating, nurturing, and actually giving them the value. That's the thing. That's the catch. If you can't provide value, then, honestly, you're not at a level that we want to work with. But, You need to get to that point as an agency. Like you need to get to the point where you have case studies, where you have something to talk about, where you can hop on and do a 30-minute VSL right now or a video and talk about, how to get results. I know my niche very well. That's why I don't have a script. I'm just going in because I'm doing this day in and day out. And so can you do that? Can you actually provide value? Can you actually make sure that people in your audience can come on and actually want to listen to you talk for 20 minutes and 30 minutes? That comes from experience. And so you need to get to that point first. So a few things: we're speed of lead, we're nurturing, we're give. That's a philosophy here. You could do that through YouTube videos, value calls, freebies, retargeting ads. It's just basically getting them in your ecosystem and providing as much value. Okay, that's step 2. And that's middle funnel. Now, bottom of funnel here, this is where most companies can do a lot of improvement, right? We're looking to convert more leads into actual paying customers. One of the biggest problems that I find most agencies is that they don't have somebody calling and they don't have appointment setters at all. It's like they have this database of clients that are willing to buy, except that they don't have anybody to figure out if they're wanting to buy. And this is where the appointment setter blueprint comes in. Okay. And let me just break down the math here because I really want to drive this point home. If you don't have an appointment setter in your agency, you are not taking your agency serious. Getting an appointment setter is by far the best investment you can make in your agency right now. It can literally 2x your business overnight if you decide to get one, and the right one, of course. If you decide to get an appointment setter, it will dramatically change your sales process and your consistency in appointments and the quality of appointments that you get on your calendar. This is what makes or breaks most people's success in their sales process. Let's say that you're getting 100 leads total, right? So you're hitting the benchmark of top of funnel with leads, 100 leads a month. Now, with no appointment setters, a bad sales process, and a bad just follow-up process, let's say you convert 20% of these people into appointments. So that's 20 appointments. Now, if you had a good process and you had an appointment setter in your company, let's say that you convert 40% of those leads into appointments, 40 appointments. Just by adding on an appointment setter, you can 2x your conversions. Same amount of ad spend, right? 2x the output and 2x the return on investment, which means that if you're seeing a 3x return on investment on your front end ad spend, you can turn that into 6x return on ad spend, which turns into a flywheel where you can now spend more into your ad spend and spend more to acquire because you're getting a higher cost or higher return on investment. And therefore, you can win more of the market. And so it's just a flywheel effect. How effective can you make your marketing campaigns? Most people, again, are doing direct to offer and trying to sell their things, which is why their math is so high. But if you can make your marketing so effective, then it allows you to be able to make use of your ad spend and be able to scale because you're able to see a higher ROI. And if you see a higher ROI, you're going to be able to spend more and be able to acquire more customers, right? And you win more of the market when you do that. And so that comes with having a really good sales process. And a sales process, the way I see it, is just when a lead opts in, what happens from lead to close and how many of those leads actually turn into closes. Pretty bad at sales and you don't have a sales process, then when a lead comes in and closed, it's probably not that many people converting over. And so you want to make sure you have a process in the first place. Now, this is Dustin. This is one of our appointment setters on our team. This guy lives in Portugal, absolute beast. And they don't even have to be crazy expensive, but here's an example. He's 20 years old and he's killing it on the phones. He's setting anywhere from 3 to 4 appointments a day. So if you pair this with getting leads with a value-based funnel, with an appointment setter, which you can find in any of these Facebook groups here, this is the follow-up, right? They're following up every single day, calling. And this is going to allow you to be able to get in contact with more leads and convert them over to call. And again, these leads are going to be warm because they watch your VSL and they went through all of your educating and nurturing, right? If you set this up properly. So the way that this is going to work is you get more leads, they all get nurtured, they all get educated, and then your appointment center calls and texts and follows up with all those leads. And they're going to be way more responsive because you actually leveraged the right thing. And, this is the entire process. We make sure that we have tagging set up properly and obviously getting more sales, right? And setting up your back end with your sales process to make sure that you're recording your calls and just make sure that you have a tight sales process, right? So that's really phase 3 with us. And again, we do this with all of our clients, these 4 steps here. But really, that's going to be the entire funnel. Top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, get an appointment setter to call all the leads after you educate and nurture them and make sure that you have enough leads by giving value, right? Those are the 3 things. And then just to wrap it all up, where I see some agencies lack is the feedback lab, which is basically the whole thing that we want to do here is we want to track KPIs and fix bottlenecks until the revenue goals are hit. This is it. All we have to do to hit 50K a month, 100K a month is just look at the numbers, look at what the bottleneck is, implement with action what we think will fix that bottleneck, which most times is appointment setter and value-based ads, getting calls per call down, actually adding value, recording content, and usually that will change the numbers, right? So that's the action that we're going to input. And then the effect is lower cost per call, way more leads, way more qualified leads, prospects are actually willing to buy, closing rate goes up, Life becomes easier for your whole team. Appointment Center sets more appointments. You now have a predictable way to get appointments. You fix up your sales process. You get better at sales. You close higher ticket packages. You crack 50K a month, 100K a month in your agency, or you add 50K or 100K a month in your agency. This is the process. But we can't do that if we don't know the numbers and we don't have data. So the best thing is that we need to get data on things like ads, your leads, your cost per lead, your outreach, your setter, dials to pickups to closes. What is your closing rate? What is your show up rate? These are all things that we track for our clients. So now we're not playing a guessing game. Guys, business is not about a guessing game. I don't want to play a guessing game when I go into my client's business. I want to know right off the bat, okay, guys, what was your show up rate? What was your cost per lead? Does the math make sense? If it does, pour more into ad spend. What do we need to do that? How are the appointment centers performing? And it's just a few things, right? Once you have this down, guys, you'll have a well-oiled machine. This might look daunting to you at first, but once you have this entire thing down, this is what gets the machine going, and this is what provides predictability and consistency in your appointment. This is how you can go to sleep at night knowing that you know exactly how to get to 100K a month in your agency, or 50K a month in your agency, or add an extra 50K a month in your MRR. You need a process like this. You can't expect to be able to hit these kind of numbers and be able to have predictability and sustainability in your appointments if you don't have a strict process in place. If you don't even have an appointment center that's calling the leads in your database, like that's the very first step. And you need to make sure that you have enough leads, and you need to make sure that you're actually giving value. This is not going to be for you guys if you're lazy, if you don't want to make content, if you don't want to provide value, if you just want to think short term and just think sell, sell, sell. This is a long-term play, but you can definitely still make money in the short term, but it's going to be a very big long-term play. And when you go big, you can go big because you actually built goodwill in the market and you actually built a really good process in place for this. So if you guys want me to show you this entire breakdown and possibly see how we can do this in your agency, to shoot me the words, shoot me a DM on Instagram. You can message me value, shoot me the word value, and I'll go ahead and go more in depth with this funnel. But this is high level overview, how we're able to book appointments for our agencies right now. And this is by far, hands down, the best way to do it nowadays because everyone is trying to sell. Everyone is trying to sell. If you can just take the next approach, use paid ads as a mechanism to be able to get value in front of your customers, it will change the game for you, I promise. So this is the process. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give it a big like. Share this with a friend that's struggling to get appointments or clients. Make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be dropping some bangers in the next couple of weeks, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.